Hi guys, Jay Smith here, down at Bury Golf Range in Suffolk, and this one is going to be for the senior golfer, the golfer that necessarily has understood as the passage of time goes on. Unfortunately, time is a cruel beast. It affects us all, and even I know I'm at the age of 42 soon, so I'm getting old, and even I realise as time's gone on, I have had to work harder. I've had to do a lot more stretching. I've had to work harder at basically just trying to keep my speed and also my elasticity, because as you get older, unfortunately, and you 20-year-old guys and girls, yeah, you wait. But you do, you get stiffer. Now, you don't necessarily change in power. A lot of the guys that I've taught and I've custom fit also, especially when it comes to the senior guys into the 60s and beyond, especially in their 60s, they haven't lost power. They're still as strong as they always were. The problem is, as you get older, biomechanically, you lose your ability to turn, you lose your stretch, you lose your ability to try and be able to coil around and get the club up as you used to. I mean, the amount of times I've heard that people have said, I used to have a full backswing, but now I can only get the golf club up to a certain point. And it's because the body, and it's a cruel thing, but it is true. So there are ways that as a senior or a golfer with a restricted motion that you can make things easier. There's ways to do it. So the classic situation, I won't hit the guinea golf balls in this direction, but I will show you. So when it comes to, let's just put a golf ball down there, and in front of the camera we'll do we'll have a setup of anything like that, and the classic normal straight setup, so feet straight, yada yada yada. The problem with that is when you get older, every part which is designed to rotate and coil and produce power with explosive motions and all that you hear from 20-year-old on the PGA Tour to try and generate power, doesn't work so well when you get older. So you can't rotate as much because you haven't got the range of motion. You can't go any further. So you have to kind of make a little bit of compensations. But there's ways to do it properly, and there's ways obviously not. So first thing to do, you hear it a lot, and it is very, very true. There is nothing wrong whatsoever for a right-handed golfer, if it doesn't matter, it's the back leg, the trail leg, not the lead leg, the trail leg. There's no problem with that, getting that and just moving it back just a fraction. Even just moving it back 5 or so inches. It makes a big difference because it allows those hips already to set slightly closed, and it will allow to try and get a little bit more rotation already set in. So by doing that, that'll allow you to start hip turn and allow that ball comes off, but allow the club to come back further. Now, don't be frightened necessarily to rotate. You can allow everything to move over, and if you need to move the foot out slightly, then by all means do so, because the more you move your foot out, the easier it is to rotate. Obviously, it would be lovely if we could move both feet, because we could rotate even more, but we can't. And unfortunately, we can't nail our feet to the floor and stuff like that. But we can try our best to make sure that we can open everything up, preset everything forward and open to allow us to turn over the golf ball. Now, when you do that, let's go this way. Imagine nice and straight, and then you drop this one back. It already sets it further back. Ball's in the same position. That allows you now to turn more back and potentially more around yourself. So the club's now coming a bit more from the inside direction, rather than where before, nice and straight, it might be slightly higher and slightly further that way. But now it's gone slightly further back. You can now rotate back this way. You are from the inside potentially a bit more. So you do have to think about differently when it comes to the delivery of the golf club. You have to understand that potentially you will be more from the inside. So you do have to think about letting this thing go, letting the golf club go. If you don't let the golf club go, you could be hitting shots quite far out to the right. And I'll hit a shot, just so you guys can see. I've got quad on the floor, and I've got FSX mobile capturing just outside the zone. There we go. Oh, this Matt does not like the tee. There we go. So straight would normally obviously between the two cameras. I'm going to do the same thing. So we're going to aim a little bit straight. We're going to aim straight, and then we're going to move this foot back. And what that's done is that's just moved my hips and my legs this way. Yeah, your shoulders will move fractionally anyway, but now I am now set much more this way. And I'm going to be hitting out towards that camera. So I do have to try and think about getting that face catching up. So rotate more, and that allows you to rotate through more. There we go. Right. So all the backswing bits done. And that's important. I'm going to need another tee. I'll go get a tee in a sec. But there is what you give when it comes to physics and everything else like that. No different to making golf clubs more forgiving and stuff like that. With one hand giveth, the other taketh away. So if you're going to try and change your initial posture, your stance, to allow better rotation by dropping that foot back, maybe open up the leg or the foot a little bit to aid rotation round, the problem is you're going to restrict your on the way through. So there's going to be this restriction feeling on the way through. So you have to, it's so important that your foot, this toe, releases. So what I mean by that, it's no good you having all this rotation on the way back and then you let it go, but then you feel really restricted on the way through because, well, that one's set that way, so this one won't want to move. So you have to let this go. You have to let this one rotate and over. So if you're set like a normal posture, you drop this one back, which allows you to pop this way. You then rotate further back, which is great because you've got your turn back again. The problem is if you don't let that foot go and foot release round to let the hips rotate, you'll be in a situation where you're going to get all blocked and stuck. So I'll do that again. Let's go get another tee. These tees fly. And we'll do the same thing again. And we'll just do the last one. We just make sure we have that feeling of that foot really rotating round to let you free to rotate over the hip. So we're going to go straight, drop this foot back, which has now enabled me to get a more turn. And now I must remember to release off this. There you go. That's quite good. Released up through. This foot can move. That's a good thing with it on the swing. You don't have to keep your foot if you're not able to, and I am not. You'll see from my swing, I start like this, and by the time I'm finished, I spin my foot round because it enables, if I spinning it out for impact, it enables me to do a full rotation forward and then look at target with everything. Now, I didn't have to do that when I was 20. As time's gone on, I've had to adapt, as we all do. But hopefully, with a few of those different ideas, you can see that by utilising that foot going a bit further back, that hip rotation, don't be frightened to be able to turn over that right hand side. Don't want to sway, we don't want you moving like this, but when we drop round, don't worry about rotating over it. So you've now got a lot of hip rotation, which allowed a lot of shoulder rotation. That means you can get your arms more up here, increase your string length, but remember, obviously, when you come through, release that head and release that foot for hopefully a little bit longer swing and a bit more gained back distance. So hope you liked it. If you did, one of those down there, thank you very much. Next to it, little red button, subscribe, click that one, thank you. And also a little bell icon. If you click that one, that'll let you know next time I upload another video. Hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.